Independence Day now under 2 weeks away. We're gearing up for fireworks displays, but those items are not legal to set off in Massachusetts, and doing so could land you in the hospital. Western Mass News reporter Matt Price spoke with a doctor about the risks besides just breaking the law.
If you are thinking about purchasing, possessing, or setting off fireworks this holiday, you may want to rethink those plans. Not only could you face legal consequences, but you could also get a one-way ticket to the hospital.
Fireworks can be dangerous in themselves. We see anything from minor injuries like burns to hands to face, all the way up to severe injuries like vision-threatening injuries to the eye.
There is also the risk of severe traumatic injuries, especially amputations. You may think setting off fireworks is as simple as lighting a fuse and watching it burst in the sky. But Dr. Seth Jemmy, Bay State Health's chair of emergency medicine, says not being an expert in how to use them and getting too close are risks no one should take.
It's usually a result of something going awry. They're lighting, they're playing with fire. They're essentially explosives.
Recovery times depend on the injury. Hand and facial burns can take days to weeks to heal. Amputations to the fingers and hands can require months of rehabilitation and physical therapy. Dr. Jemmy says the weeks leading up to July 4th are when Bay State prepares for fireworks-related injuries. Last year, several people ended up in the emergency room.
We had a few severe injuries that required inpatient hospitalization, but luckily around this area, probably due to the legality of the fireworks, we may see less than other states where it is legal.
Dr. Jemmy's advice is straightforward.
The best thing to do to prevent any of these injuries are to stick to watching them instead of lighting them.
Please leave the fireworks to the professionals. In Springfield, Matt Price, Western Mass News.